Welcome to the Untrapped Podcast, where we're motivated and inspired about success, small business, and personal development. And now, Keith Kalfas.
We're live. What's up, guys? This is Keith Kalfas. Hope you're doing very well. So I just wanted to share some mindset stuff that I wish I would have known years ago about leveling up and the inconvenient secret to leveling up. And the reason I say it's inconvenient is because it actually really is. I'm catching my breath because I just finished my 100 push-ups for today. Me and a few friends and family members are doing this 30 days, 100 push-ups a day. So I'm on like day 6 and I'm feeling it. So anyways, I just want to make sure that you can hear me. Let me know in the comments below if you can't hear me. Pretty good. Okay, you can't hear me. All right, so here is the inconvenient truth to leveling up. You might have heard this stuff before, and it's funny that the cliches are true. It's when you're faced with hard times, how do you respond? Whether they're outside things coming in, circumstances in your life, your personal life, your business, anything, right? Overall, how do you respond? And then when you have internal stuff going on in your mind, your heart, your emotions from past, present, and future, how do you respond? There's an amazing book by Dr. Viktor Frankl called Man's Search for Meaning. A few years ago, I was actually having a kind of a tough week at work, and my buddy Eric Reno calls me up. Now I love audiobooks, and he's like, bro, if you haven't listened to this book, you got to listen to it. I'm like, well, I'm listening to like 6 books right now, bro. He messaged me back 2 days later, have you listened to it? I'm like, I started listening to the book nonstop, and it just blew my mind about how fortunate we are, and all about mindset and choosing that when there's a stimulus, something that happens to you, good or bad, right or wrong, it's really relative to the experience you're having, but your reaction to it, how do you respond between the stimulus and response? And Stephen R. Covey and 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, this is truth. So there, no matter how small the gap is, there's still a small gap. And if you have no freedom left, you still have the one freedom, which is your freedom of choice of how you respond. And if you can't even respond like in a responsive way, and like physically you can, emotionally you can, in the way that you behave and accept responsibility. And we all have growing up to do. I have growing up to do. We're always, but it's how do you keep taking and stepping and taking one foot in front of the other in the midst of the storm? Because when things are going good and you're crushing it, you get used to it. And what goes up must come down, but then what goes down comes back up. And it's how do you respond and level those out so you're even keel. And the next thing is don't beat yourself up and look how far you've come. You might just be crushing it, and it'll take you years to look back and see it. And you might even miss that old part of you that had that fight and that vigor and that was crushing it, because you are crushing it. So anyways, I'm also going live here to let you know in like literally 17 minutes, you might have seen some of my ads floating around. I'm doing an exclusive offer for Black Friday. It's called the Level Up Your Landscape Business Workshop. If you happen to have a landscaping business, I'm sorry, it's not the workshop, but it's an entire business bundle. It's kind of like a workshop, but it's a series of online programs that I've specifically handpicked and I've put together that I've spent and invested years of my life and lots of failure and pain and mistakes and successes. And I put them together, something called a Level Up Business Bundle. It's at keithkalfas.com/Black Friday. Go there. The offer expires midnight tonight. You get like 93% off this entire bundle, and you can get access to it immediately. So, all right, the secrets to leveling up: surround yourself with A players and people who have a great attitude and who actually genuinely care about you. There are people who are coming to your life and they leave for just a season. And if you make the mistake of thinking that and opening your heart up too much to somebody who doesn't deserve that part of you yet, then you're opening yourself up to getting hurt. And in the end, it's almost like, you ever heard the saying, first time, shame on you, second time, shame on me? If you find yourself repeatedly getting hurt by people or even by clients, right? It's time to toughen up and have tough skin. Somebody whom I love very much one time when I was in my early 20s, I was going through a hard time and I was crying and complaining about it because things just kept happening. And this person said to me, you know what? You need to toughen up. And I was like, you know what? That's exactly what I need to hear right now. And you have a small circle of people, it's called your Fab Five. Who are the people that you trust that you can vent to and share anything with no judgment? You reserve the closest part of yourself that you can open and share, and vice versa. You be that person, a shoulder to cry for someone else in your inner circle, the people that you trust. Everybody else outside of that, that are just friends or acquaintances or strangers or business associates, don't deserve that part of you. And it doesn't mean to be disrespectful or rude or mean or anything, but it really comes down to putting on your game face and understanding that you're wearing a hat and playing a role. And if you're an empathic type of person, I'm very empathic. I've learned the hard way. You might get upset at the way the world is and the way that people are, especially in business, because business is kind of rooted in its first stage consciousness, which means it's adversarial and it's rooted in commerce. These are facts. So it's just very transactional to people. And if you find yourself in your business getting hung up emotionally about jobs and about clients, and you're wearing your heart on your sleeve and you're setting yourself up for a lot of emotional pain that, unfortunately, it's hard to hear this, but some of it's unnecessary. Like, it's like putting your hand on a hot stove. When you finally wake up and realize that, even though this isn't true in all cases, some of your clients actually like you, care about you, or your real friends and love you. This is a great blessing to have clients, but most of them, it's just a transactional business thing. And if you find yourself getting emotionally hung up and even torn apart and feeling like things aren't fair, the world isn't fair. And you're creating that. And when you finally just kind of look in the mirror and realize, wait a second, these are just the facts, then you can still remain open and heart connected, but you close that part of yourself off. Those clients or whatever people don't deserve that. You share that inner part of your life in your inner world with your close inner circle of people. And then that's when you can level up and become more like it's kind of like a shrewd, business-minded, heart passionate minded, but you draw your line in the sand. You're respectful. Your consciousness is like you actually care for real. You can operate from your heart and over deliver from this place and do a phenomenal job and be very stand up. And your customers will appreciate you even more because there isn't anymore an unconscious needy part of you that needs the validation and approval of the clients. You already have an undeniable stack of evidence over time that you've created that says your heart is in the right place. You do good work. You have integrity. You do what you say you're going to do. You put your money where your mouth is. You show up on time. If you're late, you call, and you know you're delivering. And you stand on, I think the word rest on your laurels is coming up for me. You stand on the facts, and the truth will set you free and carry you through. So therefore, when something real does come up, that's a probable cause for you to be upset, and it's legit and it's real. You feel that in your heart. Say, for instance, in business or somebody, and then you'll know that it's actually real for real, and you have a valid reason or merit to get worked up. But if you're getting worked up about everything all the time, then it's kind of like the boy who cried wolf, and it all kind of just hodgepodges and meshes together. So what's the lesson? The lesson is don't wear your heart on your sleeve so much. Still remain open and heart connected, but reserve that part of yourself for the people who deserve it. That part of you that is, I don't know, heart connected and soft, as far as you opening your heart up in a place to be vulnerable where you could be like stabbed or hurt, if this makes sense. And I have met a couple of my clients that actually have deserved that part of me, and they're very cool people, and I care about these people, So anyways, there's this funny saying, who will show up at your funeral? Are you going to let somebody make you go home and walk into your home and bring a negative energy into your own home?
If you are looking for the greatest software ever to run your business on, go to getjobber.com/Keith. You can create proposals, invoices, collect payments, and track your entire business directly on the Jobber smartphone app. If you want to get a totally free trial of Jobber right now, open your browser, type in getjobber.com/Keith, and after the trial, if you decide to sign up with Keith's link, you'll automatically get 20% off your first 6 months. So what are you waiting for? Go to getjobber.com/Keith.
for somebody who's not even going to show up to your funeral, right? And vice versa. You should always respect other people. Does that make sense? This is type of stuff that isn't popular to talk about on social media. I see comments coming in here. Adrian, what's up? Mostly humble. Patrick Forsyth. Oh, you got tendonitis in your shoulder? That sucks. Winter's setting in. It's going to be a challenge. Many blessings to you. I see your cover photo of a bonsai tree. That's awesome. My heart goes out to you. I hope you get that fixed and that heals quickly. Thank you. Camacho, Alfredo. I appreciate it. CSL. One more time. My Black Friday business building bundle expires tonight in 10 minutes. KeithKelfis.com/Black Friday. I'll put in the comments right here so you know how to spell it. We got ads floating all over the internet. You might have seen them. I've learned so much about not only running a landscaping business. I've struggled for a long time with my landscaping business because I was so emotional about the business and so frustrated to learn stuff like this. And now we have a lean, mean, money-making machine. And my landscaping business is just a small business. And really my internet marketing business has taken off. And I've learned so much about marketing and copywriting and social media. And so I've included a bonus inside of this online bundle that I'm talking about right here. It's called the Social Media Explosion course, where I share. It's live trainings they're recorded of me talking about, like, you're going to learn how to level up your landscape business and all that stuff. But there's also a bonus course that I've included called Social Media Explosion, and I talk about some stuff that's helped us. Like, we've got like 80 million views online. So I share stuff about like that. And you can use that whether if you're doing social media or put it into your actual business to help you get a lot more traction. And social media can get you a lot of leads without spending a ton on marketing advertising. What's John Terrio? Meeting a good friend changed my life, he said. Met him when I got sober and it was what I needed. And it was an instrumental relationship in my changing. Yes. One of my best friends told me that if at the end of your life, you have a handful of real friends that you can count on one hand with your fingers, but you have indeed lived a good life. So nothing compares to a good friend. Logged in 17. Love you, Keith. I've watched so much of your videos. Dude, that means so much to me. I can't help think that you are either on anxiety meds or edibles to get through. Yeah. I used to have horrific anxiety and it would come in waves. And there's one of my best friends is a life coach, and he's taught me a lot of tools, and you learn these different tools, and then you eventually get a toolbox where you can access those tools yourself. So before you have a full-on, anxiety thing, you can sense that way upstream before it even takes over, and take whatever, get calm, anchor, NLP. And I'm not saying I can do this all the time, but I've learned a lot of stuff. And here is one thing that helped me tremendously, and it almost sounds unfair. I'm not saying do this, and I'm not in any position to give any advice. When you find yourself going through like kind of like a, I don't know, like a victim state or an emotional suffering, you're upset. I ask myself, who cares about this right now? Nobody except for me. And then I'd be like, okay, so if I suffered even harder, would anybody even care? No, they would care even less. If I tried to get people to care, so I was like, So it's like you have to figure out like what's fact and what's fiction. And my friend Coach Rob, he talks about, oh, you're in a fiction. It's a thought world. And from that place, it just creates more thoughts. It's like, this is fiction, this is fact. So can you pull yourself out of the thought stream, out of the river, and rest on the river bank? And then just watch the stream of thoughts go by. Is there anything useful there? And then not get caught up and let a thought take you downstream. It's fun. There's like an amazing tons of books too. Anyways, nice. You're doing retaining walls, junk car removal. That's interesting. I love it. You're a hustler, bro. Vest DZN. Let's rock on a podcast. How do I get one going with you? I'm local. Hit me up. Email me untrappedpodcast@gmail.com. Currently for this year, I'm not doing any more podcasts because I overwhelmed myself with podcasts, but we'll be having a whole new schedule next year. Please send me an email. What was the book Reno sent you? It was the Man's Search for Meaning by Dr. Viktor Frankl. So we're live on 8 platforms right now. Facebook at Keith Kelfis, YouTube at Keith Kelfis, also on the Untrapped Podcast YouTube channel. So Cody Harden says, will you ever grow your business a significant amount more? Just curious, why or why not? Okay, so I started to grow my business and got out of the field to where, like, last year I was maybe in the field an hour or 2 hours a week max, and pretty much just doing admin, sales and marketing, and running the business. And then I was going crazy not doing the physical work because I love getting my hands dirty. This year I've been in the field part-time and I actually enjoy it. So with a landscaping business, just like any service-based business, you really have to grow and dial in the numbers, revenue, profit margins, and reinvest almost all of it back into the business repeatedly for a significant amount of time before you cross certain chasms that are basically cash flow purgatories for you to really get into the positive. I analyzed all that, and with a broken heart, I realized that I'm so in love with what I'm doing right here, and I feel so deeply my calling that for now, growing a huge landscaping business, it's like chasing two rabbits at the same time. Both will escape, that proverb. And so with a heavy heart, I just continue to keep my landscape business small and manageable because I don't think it's fair to grow a business and put a bunch of people on payroll and get a bunch of people responsible for something when my heart is over here. And I still run my landscaping business and I love my landscape business. It's my passion, it's my baby, but I'm literally have a media business that is very near and dear to me. So that's the answer in short. Now, will I grow it in the future? I might, but it has to be very hands-off and not require any more than, I don't know, 30 hours, 25 hours a week of my time, because my media business has eclipsed. I have, but I still love my landscape business. So what's up, Junior? What's up? I see all you guys on here. All right. I hope all is well. I want to share a third thing about the inconvenient truth of leveling up. So people talk about taking massive action or massive imperfect action. There's something called majoring on minor things. You can be obsessed with little minor details and being a perfectionist, but it's not moving the needle forward on the major things. But some of the things that seem like little tiny things are actually the major things. So it takes a lot of wisdom and maybe even mistakes and discernment to find out what those things are and identifying the needle movers. It could be something in your life or in your business. Like, imagine there's all these levers. My friend Brian Fuller taught me this. He's an interesting guy. Imagine there's all these levers, and this is the way I articulated it. This is the way I articulated it. You can take your pinky finger and just pull one little lever and get these massive results. It could be something simple as picking up the phone to somebody you love and saying, "Hey, what's going on?" and saying nothing and just connecting. It could be as simple as getting down and doing one push-up to start your workout routine, or saying, "I'm no longer allowed to eat junk food except for one day a week." And it starts, as you read the book Atomic Habits by James Clear, you're setting it into perpetual motion, building habits. But the deeper part of that, because I was just very soft, is when you are being attacked or feel like you're being attacked in your life, in your business, on an emotional level, personally, or just everything is going wrong and breaking down, how do you stay consistent even through those really dark storms? How do you keep a sound mind and have positive self-talk and keep putting one foot in front of the other, even though it seems like you're walking in, like, it's like fog. I always think of monkey bars in the fog. So I've been thinking about this for years. Imagine you're going from monkey bar to monkey bar, then the fog gets so dense that you can't see and you get scared and you stop. Can you swing far enough to reach to touch that next monkey bar and trust that it's there? And this is where it comes down to faith. So if you've built up a ton of positive actions of you knowing that you can follow through on the word that you said to yourself, that's where you build the faith and you say, wait, like you define fact, like the difference between fact and fiction. And you know, if you quote unquote stay the course, then you're going to make it through and there's going to be a light at the end of the tunnel. This is really funny, and I'm apprehensive when I talk about this because some people who stay the course are on a negative path. So how do you know how to do what's called strategic quitting? It's the hardest part. When you have so much invested in something that's not working at all, it could even be a story you're telling yourself of why it's not working. Almost like an addiction. How do you reach in and pull that thing out by the root and say, hey, this thing in my life or my business is a downright lie, and this path isn't going to get me anywhere. How do you strategically quit the right things? That's a real question. The only way that I think I've found is through consulting mentors and people that are a lot older that have been through a lot of stuff and acquired a lot of wisdom and have real fruit on the tree. Prayer, guidance of the Holy Spirit, like lots of prayer. And there's this video I made called Walk the Line. Imagine that you're walking a line, but there's a future version of you saying, come on, good man, you got this, let's go. And you feel like weak and you're tired and there's fog and you can't, and you just want to like drift off and just go down one. There's like it's like a line, like a parking lot, but there's spaces and you want to just go down this kind of dead end. The dead end could be just sitting scrolling on your phone, constantly watching a bunch of Netflix, hopefully not drugs or alcohol, or just unhealthy habits that are not moving the needle forward. How do you pull yourself together? If you read the book Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill, the devil wants to get you to drift. And if he can get you to drift just a little bit, he can pull your ass all the way down in the gutter. Before you know it, you're in the gutter and it's really, really hard to get out, right? So when you don't drift and you just walk the line with faith, that's the only thing I found is faith. Then you'll come through a hard storm and the fog will clear. And you've made all of this progress. And if you don't, so if you make the progress, other people will see it, but you might not even see it. And you have to sometimes like, I'm preaching myself right now. You have to not only like embrace the suck, it's called, and say, hey man, this is what happens when you're trying to become successful. In order to make an omelet, you break a couple eggs. Like it just happens. We make mistakes, we pick ourselves up, we learn, we apologize, we keep moving forward, we make it right. You're conscious. But on the other side, if you come through that and you've made a big win, how do you integrate your wins and say, you know what? I'm going to celebrate. Let's go out and get like a steak dinner. Like, let's do something awesome. Let me take a whole day off of self-care and or go on a real vacation. And because we don't integrate our wins and we say, oh, well, that was nothing. We don't feel worthy enough. Like almost like we're ashamed and embarrassed to admit that we actually did a great freaking job. And I think it's because we don't have people telling us that. So here was my friend Coach Rab taught me the biggest secret of all: give to the world. If you want to know what your purpose is, start with this. Give to the world what you have been denied. What do you feel that you've been denied the most of? What do you suffer the most about? That is where you pull in and you give that to others and to the world. If you've suffered with being homeless, help people who deal and struggle with homelessness. Straight up. If you've suffered with like some type of like, I don't know, alcohol addiction, help other people. If whatever it might be, it could just, maybe you just felt like you were treated unfair and always ignored. Then give people positive attention and catch people doing things right. Like give to the world what you've been denied. Like you know what it is for you. And I think, I asked Rob, and I said, I always talk about Rob. I just spoke on stage at the Launchpreneur Academy. It was like 500 people, and I talked about Rob so many times. Man, with these specific things, these indicators, these compasses that point to true north.
Looking to maximize your production in the field?
Ballard Products has over 300 products that can help you get the most out of your efforts every day.
Ballard Products. Whether you are looking to get a better cut, keep your gear on your machine, keep your expensive equipment clean and safe, or just get the most out of your machines, Ballard has you covered. Ballard Products. Jump onto our easy-to-use updated website at ballard-inc.com to get your gear ordered today. Keep grinding. Stay safe. And have a great season.
Ballard.
Make sure to use the code Keith10 to save 10% on our full line of gear. That's Keith10.
That could be, they're like guideposts. You can walk in the right direction even when you don't know what your purpose is. And if you keep following those compasses, you will end up in a place in your life where you're like, you're on this, you've built this foundation made of stone, and you wake up and you're in a good place because you stayed steadfast in faithfulness and It's very interesting. What's up? I'm reading all your comments in here. I think the cart might be closed now. You can go and check. It is actually past midnight. I'm still on here. KeithKelfis.com/Black Friday. Open up the browser on your phone right now. I can probably keep it open for a few more minutes. Go to your browser, type in KeithKelfis.com. Here, I'll put it on the thing. Some people misspell my name sometimes. Is Sean G on here? Sean G is an amazingly talented, wise man. Check him out on YouTube and Instagram. Here you go. KeithKelfis.com/Black Friday. Open up your browser, go to that, look at this sales page. We must have spent, well, collectively like 70 hours on this sales page. I probably spent 110 hours building these online courses. Oh, it's a lot of work. I put my heart and soul into this stuff. And someone emailed me, they're like, can you open up a multiple pay option? I really want this. I was like, that's a good idea. So we open up the 2-pay option. We split it up into 2 payments, 1 payment now and 1 payment in 30 days. You can get access to the entire Level Up bundle. Let me see. Oh, here we are. There it is. There it is. You see that? KeithKelfis.com/Black Friday. Hop off here, open up your browser, click on it, scroll down. And we made the checkout button. It's hot pink. It says Black Friday, 93% off. It'll take you to the checkout page. Put all your info in there. It's completely safe. It's all completely encrypted. This is I use the best futuristic website and software. All your information is safe, and everything is like good. And I will never sell your information or anything. So it's completely private access. And then there's an app called the Kajabi app. If you download it, you can literally watch all the videos. And I've done something really cool. I've converted these trainings into MP3 downloads because I'm a landscaper and I know it kind of sucks trying to like watch and pause a video training while you're working. So you can just download the audio and you can get back to what I'm sure you're going to want to watch the trainings, but you can listen to it while you're working. And then there's other bonuses like the 16 documents you need when hiring any employees before you pay them, like social media release form, because we do social media videos, non-disclosure agreement, drug test form, background check, all that stuff. We have a whole document pack and any employee signs. So you get access to all those, and they're editable PDF and Word documents. So as soon as you get the bundle, you can download them all and you can edit them and put your logo and your stuff. Obviously, I'm not an attorney. You ultimately want to consult an attorney in your jurisdiction or city or state to make sure that the fine tuning stuff matches. But it's a good template to go off of, like is what I use in my business, and then to get you going to use that in your business so you feel safe and protected. Like I can't give you any legal advice or make you any promises or anything, but those are the documents that you get. Israel Carrillo says, oh, my Black Friday bundle that literally it's midnight here, but I'm in Eastern Standard Time, so I'm going to keep going. It's at KeithKelfis.com/Black Friday. You get my Level Up Your Landscape Business. It's a business bundle. So you get my Landscaping Startup Accelerator online program. It's an entire program. It teaches you from the beginning to the advanced stuff of like, well, it's like beginning to intermediate because there's 2 programs. I'll explain it. How to start a landscape business, how to get legit, the insurance, the taxes, all that stuff, how to set up the money, how to sell jobs, how to organize, how to fit everything into and manage a very busy schedule, and the entire mindset of around a business with property walks and pricing. Then you get my advanced program called High Profit Landscape Secrets. It's from $1,500 to $15,000 jobs, property walks and pricing, and the mindset around pricing and the stuff that like I don't talk about, I don't hear anybody else talk about on YouTube about insurance and stuff I don't even want to talk about over here. I share inside of that online program. It's some of the stuff that people are scared of when they're taking their business to the next stage of legitimacy. And you should very much so run a legitimate business. But I've learned some very interesting things, and I share all that inside of there. And I've upgraded, and there's a lot of, and then there's a bonus. There's so much in there. I'm trying to gather it all. It's called the Social Media Explosion course and some other stuff too. So it's a Black Friday special I put together for a lot of people that were reaching out to me. Excuse me. Don't take any of that as legal advice. It's not legal advice. I'm in no position to give legal advice. And I have talked to my lawyer several times, and we went through everything line by line. And he's a media lawyer, and he says I'm totally in the clear. We have disclaimers when you buy it, and we have terms of use and all that stuff. Like, I'm from my heart trying to help landscapers start up and get a legitimate business and get insured and pay taxes so they can protect their businesses. But anyways, this site won't let you scroll up on Safari and Chrome on iOS? Get out of here. KeithKelfis.com/Black Friday. I have an iPad just for this. I have an Android, but I have an iPad specifically for seeing how things are on Apple. And also, I like Apple. I was thinking about getting a Mac computer. KeithKelfis.com/Black Friday. iOS, Apple. How crazy. It won't let you scroll up. You're totally right. Click the top right button, upgrade your business now. That is so crazy. Thank you. You're the first person to let me know this. Everything works on Android perfectly fine, and it works on desktop. So just click the top right button, upgrade your business now. What happens if you just go to KeithKelfis.com? Bro. See, now how am I going to respond right now? I'm realizing what percentage of people here, let me know right now in the comments, has Android or iPhone. What do you use? Because we've got ads that I'm investing in going all over the internet right now. I've put a lot of work into this, and we didn't think about, because we mainly use desktop and Android, why would it all of a sudden not work on Apple? But hey, you stay calm, you work around it, and you get it done. I'm going to have to get this fixed immediately, and I will get it fixed. So, all right, guys, I'm going to jump off here. If you are on iPhone, go to KeithKelfis.com. I'm going to stay here for a minute and let me know if it works. I've also put a tag on there. It's a pink tag. It says Black Friday, and go there. It should allow you to get there. I wonder if the other link we have, KeithKelfis.com/starter bundle. I shouldn't be telling you that link because that's specifically for our ads, so we can have tracking, like to know exactly where our ROI is.
Jill's office provides friendly, professional receptionists for small business owners just like you. We can help answer your calls, and we can even schedule estimates and jobs for you. Try Jill's office today and get a $25 discount when you say Untrapped. Just go to jillsoffice.com.
Wow, it's bugging. Whatever, we'll get it fixed. All right. I want to see anybody here that's going to the link, if it's working good for you. Logged on 17 says, it's funny how most of us operate like we have a Marine Corps drill instructor judging and yelling at us in our own minds. We're doing it. Yeah, dude. I work. I've watched this documentary about Steven Spielberg, because I'm into cinematography and stuff, and I love making videos and like lighting. I have lights all over the place here. And the people that work with Steven Spielberg, he said he made all these hit movies. They said Steven Spielberg works as if he's working for Steven Spielberg. Think about that. Imagine if you can create like an avatar of yourself where you keep yourself in line as though you're like your own drill sergeant. Imagine you're all traumatized and like walking around like, okay, I'll do it. People are like, what's wrong with this guy? No, not like that. But yeah, bro. My friend William Elling, the tree guy with the beard, this guy has so much structure and self-discipline. I'll talk to him at like 8 o'clock in the morning. He's like, I've been up since 4:30 in the morning. I already did all my laundry and vacuumed the house, did all these things. I've done all these things. And then I got ready and I was out at the shop early, and I was chopping wood outside and making a fire and doing all these things before my employees even showed up. I got a whole day of work done. I was like, bro, you get so much stuff done. He's meticulous. So I was wondering if stuff like that's going on in his head. All right, I'm going to jump off here. Go to the link, check it out. I'll keep it open for a little bit longer while I figure it out. I'm going to hop on my website as soon as I jump off here and get it working on iOS, iPhone. Thank you for letting me know. KeithKelfis.com/Black Friday. My friends, I appreciate you. Much honor and respect to you. And have a great evening. I'll see you there. Hey, I hope you liked the show. And if you like the Untrapped podcast and you get value from it,
can you please take a minute and go over to Spotify and leave it a well-worded positive 5-star review? It helps boost the rankings on Spotify so the show can get to more people. Therefore, these messages can get out to more people and inspire more people so then they can go out and start their small businesses and crush it and get to the next level. It's a huge deal. All right, I'll see you in the next show.